Cancer. Hi, Cancer. How's it going? Welcome to your reading, Cancer. It's just for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Absolutely. Yes, we're going to do a monthly forecast. So this is your February 2023 reading, Cancer. It's also timeless because that way, if you want to watch it, if you're watching it much later, it's still for you, okay? If you clicked on this video for some reason, there's probably a reason for that. And it could be many things. It could be Spirit has some message for you today, more than likely. And it's really regardless of your own intentions too. That's the cool part about Spirit. It's like you may have clicked on this because you were bored and you're scrolling, but that doesn't mean that Spirit doesn't have something for you. So we'll go ahead and dive in, Cancer. Let's take a look now. We're going to kick it off with a Rumi quote, and then we'll dive into the tarot. The closer you draw to your sweet soul, the sweeter you become. Yeah. You know, yeah, exactly. When we change who we are for the sake of others, it creates bitterness, right? That's another, you know, we use that word bitter almost interchangeably with the word resentment, right? So I like the analogy of sweet and bitter because the closer you draw to your sweet soul, to your authenticity, to stepping into your genuine self, the sweeter you become. Absolutely. Because you become more secure. You know, the more you're immersed in your authenticity and your own self-love, the sweeter you become. I'm going to take this one and this one. These are clumped together. The more love and sweetness just radiates out of you. So, and Cancers, I know you guys. You all are very sweet and have the capacity for immense sweetness. So, and that's one of the things I love about you, Cancer. Anyway, let's get 3 tarot cards here to kick off the reading. We're using the Mystic Palette Tarot. And we are kicking it off with the 10 of Swords. So we have an ending on our hands. What's this card? The 6 of Swords. We are moving on. I like it. You know, seeing the numbers go down, so to speak, or in the reverse sequence is not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't really feel like backwards motion at all, but we do have... Because when I read it as a narrative, it's like something has come to an end and now it is time to move forward. It's time to move on to the next chapter of life, the next phase, and I think there's something beautiful for you there. We have the sign of Gemini and the sign of Aquarius here. Oh, here's our third card. What is it? Death. Death and rebirth. Okay. Yes, Cancer. So for some of you, there's a definite ending and the beginning of a new cycle here. This is major stuff. And I think that's why we got this lovely message about authenticity and being true to oneself, is because when things end, it can be very... it can go two ways. We can feel bad about it, and maybe it was something we didn't necessarily want to have ended, but... it can also be a very empowering thing, and I feel like you have a choice in that matter. Underlying energy here is the 9 of Swords. So there's some anxiety and there's some worry here, and that's not exactly a good thing, is it? Okay, well, let's get into the reasons why. Let's get into some clarification. So for some of you, if this is about a relationship, yes, I mean, anytime there's a separation, it can be painful, it can be difficult. There's a what if, there's a, you know, why did it go this way, that, all that kind of stuff. But for some of you, this may be a very empowering thing. Once we get our thoughts in order, you know, with that 9 of Swords being that anxiety and the overthinking and, you know, all of that, the sleepless nights, it's like, once that is corrected for, I feel like you're going to actually be moving forward with power, because the thing about death is it's simply a transition, you know, it's a transition on the wheel of life, and it's like the thing that follows death is rebirth. It's not an end, it's just a transition. And so something has come to an end, but something new is right on the horizon, and I see you moving towards it here. So that's great news. If you are overthinking, if you are full of anxiety, it may be time to enact some disciplines, meditation, lots of things, exercise, drinking enough water, all the things that I don't do, but I'm reading for you, Cancer. But also, I'm a Cancer rising, so I'm gonna have to take my own advice there. There's a lot of, if it's mental, the mental struggles outside of the circumstance itself, the extra emotional energy, the things we would call anxiety or depression, a lot of them can be remedied with some physical actions. How we eat, how much water we take in, our physical activity, all that stuff plays a role. But let's look at this Ten of Swords and clarify it. We have the Knight of Pentacles here. So there's some strategizing. We've got strength, operating in grace. You're going to find it. And so the difference between the Knight of Pentacles being strategic and that Nine of Swords overthinking is the productivity of it, right? Then we have the Queen of Wands here. The Queen of Wands knows what she wants. She knows what she'll tolerate. She knows what she won't tolerate. And she's going to insist on her passions and having a clear understanding of her boundaries, who she is, right? Who she is makes her sweet, makes her shine brightly, makes her attractive to others. She's just out there, right? Rocking. I feel like you have an opportunity to find your authenticity in this change. And when you can alchemize that Nine of Swords, anxiety, overthinking into thinking carefully and strategizing as a Knight of Pentacles and planting the seeds, preparing for the next step, you're going to find out how strong you are, and you are going to really start to have a lot of confidence in yourself, which is exactly what you should have. You should have confidence in yourself, Cancer. Absolutely. Three of Wands underlies the deck, so there is a opportunity here. Spirit is going to send you a wave to catch, and I like the water analogies here. I mean, we've got the boat here. I feel like Spirit is going to throw a wave your way and be ready to take you for a ride. But the question is really, are you going to be ready to take that ride? Something off what you were really wanting to do off in the distance here, in any facet of life. This obviously could be career related as well. Some of you it very well may be. I mean, there is an absence of cups thus far, so it may be about career related issues, finance, things like that. Let's go ahead and clarify there's some cups. We're going to clarify the Six of Swords here. We do have the Two of Cups. So yeah, a partnership, definitely a partnership. Okay. Right now I feel, again, it still could be business related, but partnership between you and an employer, or you and a coworker, or you and a friend, you and a lover. It could be, take it as it resonates. Right now it feels pretty career oriented though. I think sometimes, sometimes partnerships just come to an end, and it's meant to be that way. I've had a lot of that in my life over the last couple of years, and it could be it can be scary, it can be concerning, it can be intense, but I feel strongly you'll be doing the right thing, moving forward. Catching the wave, as it were, and hopping in the boat. We have the Star. Okay, yeah, this is your wish upon the star, but it is also realigning with your wishes after a traumatic situation. The card that is right before the Star is the Tower, and the Tower is when everything in your life that isn't in alignment with your highest purpose is knocked down. You're knocked down to the foundation of your core persona, and what comes right after that is the Star, and that's where you remember. There's spiritual healing to be had here, and there's a remembrance of your true desires and your true intentions. Like you're using the Star as your true north. Again, with the sailing in the water, it's like sailors use stars as a map, right? So you're recalibrating and remembering your map, remembering your path forward. And we also have the Magician. Awesome. There's so much empowerment here, Cancer. I love this. I love this. Your alchemy is going to move you forward. And most of this has to do with how you perceive your environment. It's not so much affecting your environment, it's adapting to the environments that you are presented with. People think magic is manipulating the external world, but it has more to do with manipulating the internal world, the inside. What's in your mind. And again, we already talked about this with the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles idea. It's like you're taking a set of circumstances and working with it and changing the way that you perceive said circumstances so that you can move forward and find success. Making lemonades out of lemons, as they say. Underlying is the Four of Wands, which is beautiful. There is stability coming in for you in the future. Even though your stability here has been knocked out or taken away, you have stability right around the corner. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. You will be celebrating. You will be celebrating soon. Let's clarify death. Which, by the way, that death card, how beautiful is that? That is a gorgeous card. I love it. It's a heavy Santa Muerte vibe. All right, clarify death for Cancer, please. All right, we're gonna do 3 more shuffles here. Oh, okay. We're starting it off with the Devil. So we're looking at attachments here. We're looking at attachments. And again, you know, one thing about the Devil is it is a emphasis on the material world. The Devil is all about the 3D, and this death, I feel like, is taking away your stability, or it feels that way from the onset, you know. But this is the lesson we're learning right now. A lot of Cancerians I know love stability, right? And when it gets affected, it can be a pretty pronounced thing. But look at this. We have the Ten of Cups. We have the Ten of Cups. And you know what's interesting about this is that the way this rainbow is presented in this card, it's almost like looks like a water slide into an ocean. That blue back there, it almost looks like a giant water slide. Apparently it is a hammock, however. These two people are sitting on a hammock or something, but the attachment to what is prevents what could be. That's just a very lofty way of saying if you want something that's outside of what you currently have, you can't be afraid to have the things around you change. Because the only way to get somewhere is for things to change. And frankly, change is inevitable. That's the only constant in life is change. I'm taking that one. I don't know what it is yet. All right. And we have the Nine of Swords. Okay. Which is still underlying over here, by the way. So, we can't fear the change. We absolutely can't. I've got the Blue Oyster Cult song running through my head right now. Don't Fear the Reaper. With the cowbell. Dook, dook, dook. You remember. More cowbell is always better. Underlying the deck here is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles works to establish the environment that she wants to have, right? She's a diligent worker and she creates her kingdom with her hands, with her actions, with her efforts. She puts her feet to the pavement, so to speak, to make things happen. Which is a very powerful combination, these two queens, the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. That's very powerful, in my opinion. And I think it's just another key here. I feel like Spirit is telling you to keep it moving, you know, to keep it pushing, as they say, as the kids say. Because you have something on the horizon that is going to change and needs to change. It is something, this change is so necessary for you to find your happiness, your Ten of Cups, but you're holding on to something from the past that needs to go. And the attachment, the bind to the 3D, that devil energy, that's going away no matter what. It's changing, you know. It's changing, so buckle up. And that's really what I'm seeing here, Cancer, is you're about to go through, there was a podcast a long time ago. I actually can't tell you which podcast it is. It's Jessa Reed. She's done several. She makes a lot of different podcasts. I don't know which one it is, but she talked about a concept called the karmic washing machine. And the cycle's about to start again. And basically, I feel like the karmic washing machine is loaded up with quarters. It's about to go in the cosmic laundromat. Wow. And it's really, really up to you how you want to handle that. You can freak out and try to hold things together and try not to let things change, or you can embrace the change and really move forward. I feel like it's a pretty strong dichotomy here. Our outcome right now, we've got one card that popped out here. It is the Two of Cups kicking things off. So our outcome / advice is a partnership, which we saw the Two of Cups earlier over here. For those of you, if we're talking about relationships, I mean, there's a new person on the horizon, of course. Love is available to everyone if you want it. All right, let's keep going here. 2 more cards, please. We've got the Fool. All right, so Fool's Journey. We're on a new cycle here. Brand new cycle. I like it. There's a lot of optimism in the Fool card. You know, the 0, the way that rather than starting with the number 1, the major arcana starts with the number 0, and 0 is sort of like infinity, kind of like eternity. It's timeless. It's an infinite wellspring of optimism that you can tap into. And I feel like you really should, because that 9 is... Oh, and here we go. Here's the Queen of Pentacles coming out again. You know, feet to the pavement, guys. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, whoever you are. Put your feet to the pavement. Make it happen. You have an opportunity here, and I feel like you will. Underlying the deck here is the 8 of Cups. Let's talk about 8 of Cups for a minute. That's a card of empowerment. That's a choice. That's choosing to walk away from something that you recognize. You recognize in your mind and in your body that something is not going to work out, and you make a conscious choice to abandon the prospect of whatever it is. Success. You know, in Hermetic Tarot, it says Lord of Abandoned Success. And abandoned success it sounds really negative, but it's the hope for success. It's where you get to a certain point investing in something and you recognize, like, you know what, this isn't going to be successful, and I'm only sinking more and more of my energetic resources into this. So I'm going to choose to cut my losses and walk away and start over. Walking away and starting over is a terrifying thing to do, but if you do it, again, we've seen lots of empowerment here with Strength, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. If you choose this to get in the boat and go and start over, I think Spirit has beautiful, beautiful things to you for you, and you're going to find out that you are way stronger than you realize. Way stronger than you realize. Cancer, you don't have to settle. You don't have to settle for second best. You don't have to settle for shitty relationships. Whoever that's for. If this is about relationships for you, you don't have to settle for shitty relationships. You really don't. Look, all relationships take work, but that work should be fulfilling and rewarding. The work that you do should generate a return. And if it doesn't, if you're dealing with somebody who's just sucking the life out of you and giving you nothing in return, it's time to go. You know, it's time to go. If it's a career, same thing. If it's a career, if you are underpaid, underappreciated, and overworked, it's time to go. It's really time to go. It's time to create a strategy. The Knight of Pentacles. It's time to create a strategy. It's time to get out. So this February, looks like there could be some changes afoot. It looks a little turbulent, but I promise you, you're being course corrected onto a new path that's going to bring so much blessing. So Cancer, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was beneficial. If it was, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. And I will see you next time, guys. Take care.